howdy y'all. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. Today's video is going to be a pretty short one, at least I hope it's going to be, and it's going to be very simple. I'm basically going to be taking these boots right here, the ones that I have from the 60s, and then going to a cobbler to see if I can get a lug sole attached instead of this sole right here. Being so old, the rubber is very stiff and not very comfortable to walk on. So let's see what a cobbler has to say. I'm going to be basically showing you what it looks like before and then after. I'm not going to do a vlog because I don't really, I'm not really comfortable with that kind of thing, but I'll let you know what reasonable prices are, time frames, and exactly what you should ask for, just so if you wanted to do this, you can get the best results. Thank you guys for coming to the channel. If you already are subscribed, I appreciate every single one of you, and if you are brand new, I hope you like what you watch, and I hope you consider subscribing. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you've been a subscriber for a while now, this exact boot was actually in, I think it was in like the different combat boots. This was like my example for military combat boots, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, sorry. But this one is actually from the 60s. It is a beautiful boot, the shape is amazing, and honestly, I got these at a vintage shop for I think $35 to $45 if I'm not mistaken. They're great. The shape is really dope. I like the detailing on the toe. It has like, on the toe it has like a little bit of discoloration, scuffing, and everything like that. And then over on the side here, you can see that the leather is cracking and just in not the best condition. So what I did exactly was I did everything that I could to basically bring this leather back. I mean, it's been, from the 60s, it's an incredibly long time. So I mean, up to all the way to 60 years now that this has been around. This leather was extremely dry, so I did everything that I could. I put mink oil on it, as well as I used a leather conditioner. It is a whole lot better than when it started, so I treated the leather myself. Obviously you can go to a cobbler and have them condition your leather if you want. I decided to try and do it myself with products that I could find on Amazon. The exact products I used started off with using this right here, saddle soap. You can get from any brand, but saddle soap definitely does the job. Just to basically clean your leather, but it is pretty well known that after using saddle soap, it does dry out the leather quite a bit. So to combat the dryness, this right here, Hide Rejuvenator, definitely really cool. It just goes on, put it on a rag, and then slather it over your boots. Definitely needed a lot of it because this is such an old boot, but I think it did a pretty good job. And then I finished it off with some mink oil. Again, you can go to a cobbler and ask them to do it themselves, and you will pay a little bit for it, but I decided to try and do it myself. I got all these products on Amazon. If I can find the links, I'll put them in the description below. But now, what I have to do with these is that I'm not entirely happy with the sole. The sole is like, being so old, the rubber on the bottom has gotten so hard and stiff, and it's just not all that comfortable to walk on. So I wanted to see if I could go to a cobbler and see if I can actually get a Vibram sole, a Vibram lug sole attached to this. And yeah. Alright, and I'm back. So I got the boots back from the cobbler. It took about 4 to 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. When I went to them, I said I didn't have a particular time frame that I needed it to be done. I told them that however long it takes, just let me know when it's done. So they quoted me for 5 days, and I returned in those 5 days, and they were perfectly done. So they actually look beautiful. Super different, actually. The sole prior, and I honestly probably should have thought of this before and had like some before and after shots. I'll keep that in mind for the next one, but if you look, it now has a beautiful lug sole from Vibram. Pretty well done. I actually chose the cheapest cobbler that I could. I asked many different places and asked for quotes on how much they would do this resole for, and generally speaking, it was always around about $100. The one I went to quoted me for $74, so I decided to go with them, and I am not disappointed at all. It isn't a picture perfect job, however, I think they did a good enough job. So what they had actually done was they had added another piece of leather underneath the original kind of like, I don't know terminology for boots all that well, but they added another piece of leather and then put the Vibram sole on top of that. So it did kind of like get a little taller, but the lugs are so aggressive and they look so beautiful. The shape of them is great. And what is also really cool is that they actually conditioned the boots for me, and that was complimentary, which was really nice of them. So yeah, they also offered to recolor the boots and make them completely black. I didn't want that. I wanted to keep this kind of cracking detail right over here, keep the age on them, but I did want the leather to be conditioned just so that they don't crack even more and just fall apart on me. But those are the boots. Essentially what I did was I went and I said I want a Vibram lug sole on here. I don't exactly know the exact model of the sole themselves, but I did some research. Yeah, I believe they used the Montagna sole. I'm not entirely sure. When I first read it, I thought it was Montana, but it is spelled differently. But yeah, what do you guys think? Doing this to your vintage combat boots definitely kind of breathes more life into a boot that is so very old, and honestly now they are just as good as any boots that you can buy brand new today. So in all, I spent $45 on the boots and then $75 for the actual resole. All I had to spend to get a practically amazing pair of boots, I only had to spend about $120. So yeah, this could be a great way for you guys to get a really solid pair of boots and not really break the bank. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I wore them once just to kind of see how they wear, and they're actually significantly more comfortable because the rubber isn't hardened and old. It is brand new, it is great, and I very highly suggest that you guys do this to your vintage military boots if you get the chance. Don't overpay. You're going to be paying from anywhere around $75 to $100. I wouldn't pay more than $100 for a resole job, but get some quotes around where you live at. There are plenty of people that do this, and just find your nearest cobbler and they'll be able to set you up with something like this. Let me know what you guys think. Overall, this was a very positive experience for me, and I'm super happy to actually be able to wear this and not have my feet hurt so bad. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys like them. The shape really does remind me kind of like an Millimeter boot, which is really cool. The lug sole is so much better. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys, and until my next video, I will catch you guys later.